Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're looking at a really interesting philosophy of health that suggests the key to well-being isn't found in a medicine cabinet, but actually right on your dinner plate.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with why illness seems to keep coming back. Then we'll dive into this method's totally different approach, which is all about energy. We'll look at how you can read your body's signals, what kinds of daily adjustments you can make, and finally, what the path to balance really looks like.
All right, so let's just jump right in. We're going to start with a fundamental question that I think probably a lot of us have asked ourselves at one point or another. I mean, think about it, right? You get sick, you treat the symptoms, you start feeling better, and then, boom, a few weeks, maybe a few months later, the same old thing is back again. It's a super frustrating cycle. Now, the source material for this method suggests a pretty radical idea. It says the problem might not be the treatment we're using, but the fact that we're just not understanding the messages our body is trying to send us through things like pain.
So this all boils down to one core idea, a Vietnamese saying that means illness enters through the mouth. The central point here is that recurring illness often comes from a basic mismatch, a disconnect between the food we eat out of habit and what our body actually, truly needs to stay in balance.
Okay, so if there's a mismatch, how do we fix it? Well, this method suggests we need to start thinking about our health in a completely different way.
So get this, the energy balancing method isn't about fighting a specific disease with a specific pill. The whole goal is to adjust your body's internal environment using food. It's all about restoring what the method calls duang, your body's natural energy balance. The thinking is, if you get that right, illness just doesn't really have a place to set up shop.
And if you look at these core tenets, it's pretty clear what this is all about. It's about self-awareness, right? We're talking about ditching the reliance on medicine and instead learning to really listen to your body. You use food as your main tool, and the core belief is that if you can just restore that natural balance, your body has this amazing inherent ability to heal itself.
Okay, so listen to your body sounds great, but what does that actually mean? Like, what are we listening for? What are these signals? Well, the cool thing is, according to this method, you don't need to go get a bunch of complicated lab tests. Your body is basically like the dashboard in your car. It gives you a clear and simple status update every single day. The trick is just learning how to read it. And here they are, the three main gauges on that dashboard. First up, your weight. Any unexplained gain or loss is a sign of an energy surplus or deficit. Second, your urine color. This tells you if your body is running hot or cold. And third, your sleep quality. This one's a pretty direct reflection of your overall energy balance. Simple, right?
All right, so we know how to read the dashboard. Now what do we do about it? Let's talk about the controls. How do we actually respond to what we're seeing?
The method really simplifies things into two primary states. If you see that your urine is dark yellow, your body is considered to be in a hot state, or yang shin. The game plan? Cool it down. Eat a bit less, drink more water. On the flip side, if your urine is clear and you're going frequently, your body is in a cold state, shin. The action is to warm things up by eating more, drinking a little less, and adding warming foods to your diet.
So you can see how this becomes this really simple daily feedback loop. It's not complicated. Step 1, you observe. Check those 3 signals every day. Step 2, you adjust. Pick your food and drink based on what you saw. And step 3, you monitor. See how you feel. And then you're ready to do it all over again the next day. Now, the end game here isn't just to be constantly reacting. The ultimate goal is to steer your body toward a state of real, stable balance. And the source material defines this balance as an equal 25% distribution across 4 main energy types: protein, fat, sugar, and starch. It even draws a comparison to the balanced nutritional profile of breast milk. Okay, let's get into the final piece of this puzzle. And honestly, this part is really interesting, and maybe a little counterintuitive at first. We need to talk about this idea of beneficial pain, or restructuring pain. The concept is that as your body starts to regain enough energy from this balanced approach, it can kick off a restructuring process. And yeah, you heard that right. That process can actually cause some pain. So the trick here is figuring out how to tell this good pain from a new problem, right? According to the method, this type of pain is actually a huge win. It often shows up in places where you've had old injuries. And here's the big clue. Even though you might have this specific ache, your overall energy, your sleep, your appetite, all of that is actually getting better. It's seen as a sign that your body finally has the resources to go in and repair old damage. So what we've really walked through here is a framework for listening to your body's signals every single day, instead of just running on your old eating habits.
And that leaves us with one simple, but honestly pretty deep question to ask ourselves. Is our diet actually serving our body's real-time needs, or is it just a habit we're stuck in?